Tomato products are not only a staple ingredient in many homes across the globe, they are also a $190.4 billion market in our globalized food industry. And due to the extremely high price pressure, raw materials are often more about quantity, not quality. But here in the heart of Italy's Food Valley, there's a company that decided not to go along with the market, and was proven right to do so. We're in Parma, Italy, at the headquarters of Mutti, an Italian food company specializing in tomato products.
The history of Mutti and tomatoes start at the end of the 19th century. That has been a common experience in the Parma area. The father of my grandfather started these new adventures in these fantastic fruits. I'm Francesco Mutti. I am the CEO of Mutti Tomato Company.
In the mid-90s, the tomato market was dominated by cheap goods, poor quality, and exploitation of harvest workers. Not an easy time for 26-year-old Francesco Mutti to take over. Even more so as he decided to completely change the corporate identity of Mutti, striving for quality only.
When I took over in the middle of the 90s, there were two major trends. One was producing for private label, and the second was to produce for discounters. I decided to go in a completely different direction, that was building a brand on tomatoes. It was an absolutely crazy idea, everybody told me, and I went on. You don't sleep so well at the beginning, maybe you build something different at the end.
Mutti started to invest in a long-term strategy to only use the best tomatoes for processing, locally grown in northern Italy. No cheap labor, no imports, no cheap raw materials.
We have an extra cost on raw material. The average of last 7 years is 13% more of the standard cost of the north of Italy. This is caused because of the quality of tomato is higher, so less defect and more solids, more sugar into tomato fruit.
And as consumers became more conscious about food in recent years, they were also willing to pay higher prices. Mutti is now the #1 brand for quality tomatoes in Europe, selling 580,000 tons of tomatoes in 95 countries every year, raising sales in 2020 by 23% to 465 million euros. In 2021, Mutti spent 32 million euros in industrial investments, including projects with their 6-member R&D team.
The key for having a fresh product is to reduce at maximum the time from harvesting to transformation. With InstaFactory, we reduce to 0 the time from harvesting to final transformation. So I harvest tomato and I have the plant into the field.
Mutti's long-term decision to invest in quality and sustainability laid the foundation for their economic performance today.
Sustainability is definitely in our DNA since ever. We started more than 20 years ago. It's a big element of transition, and we think in the future we should change our models, not only as Mutti, that is changing since a long time, but really as a community. We should act in a completely different way to have a long-term sustainability for us.